this morning, Jonah woke up and decided we should have pancakes. So I told him if we were making pancakes, he was making them with me. We're going to start with making buttermilk because buttermilk makes your pancakes light and fluffy. And I don't keep buttermilk on hand. So we're going to take 4 tablespoons of vinegar and pour it into a cup and add enough milk to make 4 cups of milk, of buttermilk. You see the 4-cup line? Jonah?
Yeah.
Do you see the 4-cup line? Am I there?
So, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes until buttermilk forms. Step 2 is we're going to melt butter. This is 8 tablespoons of butter. So we're going to stick in the microwave for about 45 seconds. You don't want it to boil over because that creates a giant mess inside your microwave. But you also don't want it to still be gooey. You want it liquid. And then we have to let it sit as well while the buttermilk makes. Okay, our butter is melted in our little bowl. We're going to sit it over here with our buttermilk and let it wait for 10 minutes. Hopefully this will cool down enough. If you add hot butter to pancake mix right away, it's going to scramble the eggs and you'll have chunks of scrambled eggs inside your pancakes, and that's not yummy. So we're going to let it sit, cool down, buttermilk to set up, and then we'll be back. All right, next step is to mix our dry ingredients. You ready, Jonah? Okay, 4 cups of flour. Okay. Oh, we do a double batch of pancakes around here because we like them a lot. A teaspoon of baking soda. A half a cup of sugar, because we also like sugar in this house. 4 teaspoons of baking powder.
Oh, yeah.
And Jonah's favorite ingredient,
Salt.
a teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and stir that up with that wooden spoon. Make sure it all gets incorporated. And then we're going to add our wet ingredients. And we're going to use the whisk then. Okay?
Okay.
You let me know when you're ready.
Is this the way it's supposed to look?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we have that melted butter that is now cooled enough that it will not scramble our eggs, because that's disgusting. Oh. We have 2 whole eggs, and then we have 4 cups of buttermilk.
Where should I put this one?
You can put it right here in this bowl while we stir this up. You gonna stir again?
Yes.
All right. That's the muscle. Make sure you break those egg yolks, otherwise.
I don't see them anymore.
Okay, we'll keep stirring. You'll come across them if they're still there, if they have not been broken up. Okay, make sure that you go through this way too, and you make sure you get all of the, can you let go for just a second? Make sure you get all of that up. Otherwise, you're just going to stir around in the same circle. So it helps if you take smaller circles to incorporate everything that's on the bottom in. Okay? Try it again. There you go. And then do little circles all the way around, and then do a couple big circles. And then little circles again. And it's okay if your pancakes are a little lumpy, because those lumps will cook out. But you want to make sure that the flour is incorporated and not in chunks like that, because that's not fun. And while he's doing this, I have turned the griddle on. It's an electric griddle that we use because I wore out my pancake pan for the stove. Anyway, I put it to 350 degrees, and as soon as it's heated up, we will get started on pancakes.
Is this the way it's supposed to go?
Yeah, let me see for just a second. Sometimes the best way to feel is to get, or to find out if it's the right consistency, is to feel it. So you see how, here, stir for a second and see, stir with me. Do you see how some parts are really loose and some parts are really thick? Can you feel that? Put your hand on the whisk. Can you feel how that's thick and that's loose? Okay, so you don't want that. You want to keep stirring until it's all incorporated. Okay? No?
It feels the same.
Feels the same. Then we're ready. Now we're going to head on over to the griddle. All right, our pancake batter is ready. Our griddle is heated to 300 degrees. I said 350 before, but 300 is better so that they don't burn. Elijah likes his pancakes to be itty bitty and handheld. So we're going to take a ladle and do about 1/3 of it for each pancake for him. And then we're going to wait for the bubbles to come up around the edges. That tells us that the pancake is ready to be flipped. If you flip too soon, you have a mess.
Do we have to wait for them to bubble?
Okay, so if they have not bubbled up at the top, that means they're not cooked on the bottom. Which, have you ever had a pancake where it's raw in the middle but cooked on the outer edges? That's because somebody didn't wait to flip. Or if it's all scrunched up because they couldn't get the spatula all the way underneath because it wasn't ready. See? The other thing we do with pancakes is we let them cook. We do not pat the tops like you do some food. You just let it cook. When you put your spatula on the top of a pancake like that, you let all of the air out and all of the fluffiness that you love is gone. So, we just let them cook.
I want to steal fluffiness.
I know you love fluffy pancakes. That's why we make them.
And sugary.
And we always make extra batter so that you can have them throughout the week. Because pancake batter will stay in your refrigerator for up to a week. And so we just pull the griddle out, and every morning during school, I come and make him 4 or 5 pancakes before he goes to school.
Ooh, that smells like her.
And then his dad tells him he's spoiled. See, that's that golden brown color you want.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that perfect?
Oh, yeah, perfect. Perfect, yeah.
All right.
I'm going to bring that plate over.
Whatever. Perfect. All right, those are Bubba's pancakes. Let's let them cool, and then we'll call him to eat. And let's get you a plate to make Jonah-sized pancakes. The other thing that's important is to get all the little pieces off of the grill. So you'll have tiny dribbles of pancake that have cooked. Just move them around. But if you leave them there too long, they'll burn. And that does not make for a good smell for breakfast. So here is Elijah and his little pancakes. We put a little bit of butter on them. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. Mommy cut it for you?
This Bubba pancakes.
Uh-huh. Here. No?
What's that?
A pancake.
Wait, Mama.
Is it yummy?
Mommy.